Dear Twin Flame souls out there, welcome to the Twin Flame Awakening Journey podcast, and today is an episode 84. In today's episode, we are going to move a little bit back in time and a little bit forward in time, which means we are going to dive into the understanding of what has happened since the beginning of this year, when we had a solar eclipse and solar flares. Those who remember, we had the northern lights all over the places where normally we don't see the northern lights. And also the Lion's Gate that is coming up. What are common in between these two? The reason I talk about this today, that I have observed and seen that with this so-called divine masculines, there has been a new shift, a new energy, a new way of seeing it. And today I would like to just clarify for you a few things that might have happened with you while being on this journey. If you are new here, welcome to this channel. If you have been here for quite some while, thank you for coming back. Thank you for being here. Your energy, your connection, your time is so valuable. So thank you so much being here. And I hope this episode will bring you some light and love and understanding. So let's go back to the March and April when we had a solar eclipse and the solar flares that happened. So I spoke about this a lot, that the sun is the energy of masculine. Everything that happens in the so-called from the sun happens from the masculine energy. Moon is a feminine energy. That's why, let's say, the female's period and everything is called moon cycle, because it is a feminine energy. And that's why we feminine energies, we feel more stronger during the moon phase and understanding. But also the same is for the masculines when it's the strong sun, let's say, energetic shift. And I really would like to say that there is no accident. We are all energy, and everything when it happens for a reason. And since the beginning of April, a lot of divine masculines and divine feminines have started to feel different than ever before. That brings me to the first thing that many of you have told me. I don't know what is happening to me. I feel like I'm going all the way back to the beginning, like I'm re-experiencing the dark night of the soul. I'm experiencing so much pain that I want to cry again. I feel like I don't want to do a lot of things. And here I'm about to say that if your divine masculine has now entered into a state of ego death or understanding that there is no way to fight against this energy. And I know myself that I used to fight against this energy just because I thought, my ego thought I'm stronger. I thought I can survive, I can get through that. But the truth is, once the energy takes it over, we can't fight against it. It's the same like we think of like in a planetary system and everything. When the energy is about to shift and change, there's no way we're going to stop that. And so when now, and I've heard that from many of you, really, where people said to me, I was doing already so well. I had no obsessive thoughts. I didn't feel like I need to be with my twin flame. I felt that I'm in a place of peace and I was able to focus on myself a lot. And then all of a sudden, within a click, it started again that you feel I'm going to go through a dark night of the soul. I'm feeling very emotional. I'm feeling things I never felt before. And at the same time, it does not feel like mine. Yes, this is very important, and I would like you to keep in mind that when our twin is starting to go through the transformation or transition and starting to surrender into that energy that is going to purify and unlock all of the potential, we are going to feel that. But you will feel that a little differently than you would feel your own. Because when you feel on your own, it physically and everything, it breaks you apart. And you would also start to understand why this is happening to you. But now you can be in a state, for example, you're driving with a car and all of a sudden you start crying that you have never cried before. And you wonder, what's wrong with me? I had a beautiful day, I had a beautiful time, and all of a sudden now I'm crying like I never cried before. Then most probably you are not crying for yourself. You're opening up for your twin to start surrendering into. And now here is something very important I would like to remind you. When you are experiencing these unknown feelings, even anger, crying, feeling like you would like to scream, or you want to dance, or you want to do certain things that doesn't make any sense to you, I would highly recommend you to process them through. Don't hide them, don't run away from them, don't go under substance to be away from it. And what do I mean under this is because you are working energetically together. And now you would ask me the question, for example, but why? Why? I have been through hell already. Why do I have to process this for them? Well, you don't have to if you don't want to. No, you can say, okay, I'm not going to do it. That's it. Although if he is not strong enough, that process will delay and delay and delay. Think of it a little bit like, let's say you see a child who wants to cry and holding the tears back really hardly because it feels like, I cannot cry right now in front of all these people. And then you would go next to this child and cry with this child, say, starting crying, and the tears will come through. And this child will feel that, oh my God, I can cry this out now because someone else showed me the way. Someone else showed me that it's okay to let my emotions to go out. I know that from the ego it can come that, well, I don't need to help my twin flame. I have been through hell. Look what happened to me. But I would also like to say to you that isn't that the most beautiful experience you have ever experienced in your life? Even though it broke you apart, it made you feel that you're going to die. At the same time, you feel it's the most profound and beautiful experience. You were able to experience love in a level that you didn't even know that exists. You were able to let go of the things, or I would say ideas that were holding you in a box, that were telling, yeah, that's who you are. And now all of a sudden you have wings and you can discover of who you really are. And so while it feels like it's an absolute disaster, it's also the most beautiful experience you ever get to have. And so in that reason already you own for your twin flame when they are going through a very, very hard time to process with them. We live in a fast-paced world where we don't take time to process the emotions or feelings or being connected of what we have. And this is something we really need to shift. So that's why if you have now reached to the point where you're feeling a lot of obsessive thoughts, or it has come back to the way it was, I would really tell you, do yourself a favor and start feeling them. I know we don't want to feel them. I know we don't want to feel negative emotions. But inside of the negative emotions and feelings is a liberation. And you are seeking for that liberation, and so does your twin. We don't know what your twin has gone through if you haven't spoken to them for a long time. And often we see that from the 3D perspective that, well, they don't talk to me, well, they are not connected with me. well, they did this and that and this. But sometimes we try to protect ourselves. And if you would close your eyes today and think about it, did you protect yourself on this journey? Did you try to put a different image on that who you are not? But you try to protect your heart, or you try to protect your vulnerability, or you try to protect your truth because you were afraid of showing who you are. I just uploaded on a Patreon the mirror exercise, which is my type of mirror exercise, and it's out on a Patreon for those who would like to do that. And it will bring you a very quick example of seeing how you were sharing a very similar things, how you are operating on a very similar method or in a similar fears. And so I know that sometimes we want to go in our ego, and I'm going to say also that we should be afraid of being angry. It's kind of like the society says that when we are angry, we are bad people and everything. But anger is also a force of liberation. So if you feel angry on your twin flame, or you feel that the anger is coming and you think it comes from your twin flame, but it might be that they are angry and frustrated, something that goes on in their life. Maybe they don't want to be in a relationship they are in. Maybe they are not happy with the job what they have. Maybe they are absolutely so sad of the life they're living because they cannot make a decision. And all they want to do is to scream and let it out. But it feels so unknown and it feels so wrong. And then you'll be the one who is starting to open this up. We shouldn't suppress what is coming through us. When the energy is activated, you need to allow the energy to do the work. No, I'm not saying that you're going to get angry and go and scream on other people. No, this is just shows that you're not taking a responsibility and you're not taking a validation of understanding. But when you feel that the urge of screaming is coming, allowed to scream, allowed to hit the pillow, or allowed to do something that you feel is getting out of you. The worst thing is when we suppress the energy, because it's like, think of yourself like a volcano. It's there, and one point, poof, it explodes. And of course, this is the most dangerous for the fire signs, because fire signs tend to hold it back sometimes, and then they explode. But in this journey, you are the one who is helping your twin as well. And that's why I hear this over and over again. I don't want to do this for my twin. Why I have to? And at the same time, it comes, but I want to be in my 3D. I want to be in a 3D union. I want to be together. Well, then it's a part of you has to help. It's like the same, let's say, as a parent sometimes. We don't want to do certain things, but we have to in order to help them to get there. We have to show the way. Say, I don't want to teach my children ABCs, but at the same time I know that then they start reading. So I have to open the door for that and learn the ABCs with them and help them through that. It is a so-called journey where we are the energy that one does one thing, another one. So it's not one-sided. And I really would like you today with this episode, because we have a Lionsgate coming up, and I explain that exactly why it's so important to start feeling all of the energies. Also, that might have, if you're wondering how your divine masculine is doing or happened, if any of you have experienced, that they might have changed their social media pictures or WhatsApp picture or some picture that you'll be like, wow, since we met, it's been all the time the same. Or maybe there has been a couple of few changes, but now all of a sudden they have changed. Or also that they post a picture of themselves and they look very different. Let's say they have cut their hair, or they have changed their hair color, or they have changed something that you can significantly see. Often when we go through transitions in our life, we tend to change of our appearance as well. And I remember myself when I was at this dark night of the soul and going through a very, very difficult time. And as I didn't know how to express myself, and I was suppressing it a lot. one of my thing was to change the pictures on WhatsApp. It was just like I think every week I had a new picture or anything like this. It was just, now if I think back of it, I don't even understand why I was doing it. But at that time, I felt that I want to show the difference, or I want to get that attention, or I have no idea why I was doing this. But it just, I remember I was doing it constantly. Now my WhatsApp picture has been since the last, when I finally realized what was going through me and what happened. And I haven't changed, and I don't even bother. So just to say that this is also one of a divine masculine thing, that if you have noticed that, wow, they have changed their profile picture after such a long time, it hasn't been before, then don't be surprised that they are going through transition. Things are happening to them. Or also, the third thing is what has happened since the solar flares and solar eclipse, that if your twin flame happens to be a little bit artistic, let's say a songwriter or a painter or artist, or writes poems or books or any of these type, that you might have noticed that their songs or their appearance happens to give some kind of a message. Let's say the music, there is a lot of like twin flame kind of a music. In that sense, it says a lot of things such as, I want to be with you, but I cannot, or I have seen you in my dreams and I feel that you are here, or I feel like we are living together in another reality, I miss you, and all of these kind of things. And of course, if it has happened to you, leave a comment down below and share it. It's just because I'll do that on Instagram a lot. You can see where I ask the questions and people share their experience. And the reason I do this is I know that sometimes the experiences we are going through feels like, am I looking too much into this? Am I making this up? But when we start talking to others and when we start seeing from other examples, we tend to see that, wow, I'm not looking too much into. It's my soul that is understanding it. It was very interesting another day when I was coming back from a training, and something inside of me told me to do a very deep channeling with myself, with my twin, which I don't do as often because I have a very good connection. But something just came through me, something very like, and I am the one who actually follows really. Like if something comes through me, I'm going to follow this. Does it make sense or not? It doesn't matter. And funny enough that I did that channeling, and I received, wow, what an information. It actually took me speechless for a second. And I was just like, okay, all right, I will, as soon as I get home, I'll do the meditation, I do the energy, I'll do all of that. It was a bit sad. It was a bit sad on that day. And funny enough that I ended up on this channeling, and behind me was a man sitting. And he turned around and he looked at me and said, do you have a charger over there? And I said, yeah, I have the outlet. And then I said, if you want, you can come sit next to me because you have it also that as the person left. And he came to sit next to me. And what was his name? My twin's name. And I have said that many, many times. My twin has one of the most common names in the world. I never hear that. I literally never hear his name. But when it comes exactly through the channeling session, there is some deeper meaning that I know he is struggling to say in a real life. Then it often happens that it comes. And it was funny enough that when I did the channeling and I went to a restaurant and there was this one song that started. And it was a Hindi song, actually. I don't listen to Indian music as much, but this song was like one-on-one with the words because it was mixed of French and this, and it was exactly one-on-one what I was channeling. It was so, like, a little bit even scary, but I love channeling. I really, really do love channeling because it's the energy cannot never lie. And I was sitting there and I was just like, okay. And then I processed a lot of things through, which was so helpful. So that's why I'm here to say that if your twin is going through a very hard time right now and you have no idea about it, but you feel this, the messages are coming through this, don't stop it. Feel them through you. Go within and release them. Help to release. Because you are one. Think of yourself, you're like a one soul, like in that sense that you will, if you've been healed from certain part, but the other part is not yet healed. Let's say your left side is healed, but your right side is not yet healed. Will you leave that? And will you be like, oh, right side, you decide by yourself because I healed my left side? No. You're one and everything is there. And you cannot cut this connection. It doesn't work like that. So if that has happened to you, always leave a comment. And I would say music is a very strong way to communicate with us. I know it sounds crazy again, but what isn't crazy on this journey? But music, sometimes you hear one song and you will be like, oh my God. Like it's not the words that you hear from your ears. It's like you're feeling with your whole body. And then, of course, the next thing that you have actually heard from them. Obviously, we had a month of Gemini, a very high communication. A lot of information was coming through, both through telepathy and in the real life. I saw with the people I had calls with were saying, my twin was telling me this, my twin was telling me this. I didn't know how to even react to it. It was a very, very strong month of communication. And I know that one of the videos where I said that Gemini twin flames are very active of communication. Many of you replied that my twin flame is Gemini, I got the message and this and that. Again, if that happened to you, please write a comment down below just for others to see that, wow, it is happening. I'm not here alone. And now we have entered into a next thing, which is so important. We are season of Cancer. Cancers, they feel so deeply everything. They are deep, beautiful souls. And I am so blessed that I have so many beautiful Cancer friends here. If I'm not wrong, Jessica, who has been on the podcast with me, and the Guided Space Twin Flame, she is a Cancer. Then other beautiful souls who I've had very strong connection with, my beautiful Cancers. And I love channeling you because you're so deep, you're so emotional, you're so caring, you have this essence. And now we are a season of Cancers, right before we're gonna go into the Lionsgate. And what it tells us, what the season of Cancer is telling us, to start feeling, because Cancer is opening up. It's time to feel, it's time to process, it's time to let it out of you. And that brings me back to the beginning that I was repeating, and I'm repeat this again. You need to start feeling the emotions. You need to start feeling them, not brushing them off. For example, if you feel like crying and crying like you never cried before, then it's time to cry. I also will tell you the difference in between if you cry of your own or if you cry for your twin. The tears that will come through you when you cry for your twin will be that your eyes will not swallow up. Your eyes will not, because when you cry for yourself, from your physical body, in that sense that it comes through your physical body, often our eyes get swollen. But I have experienced this where I cry and I see that they are not my tears and nothing happens to my eyes. My eyes are not swollen, my eyes are not red, but I can feel the teardrops. This is so strange, and I'm gonna say that this journey is absolutely insane but beautiful at the same time. And I know what sometimes I say things that is like, that cannot be real. I would have said the same thing before coming to this journey. But now I have been so blessed of having you telling me your stories. I'm documenting in that sense everything. For me it's very important. I go through and I look it up. And it's not because I no longer have this need to prove something. It's more about seeing it that it's more normal than not normal. And I would like to induce this confidence or that knowing or that trust inside of you. As sometimes when we are alone and these weird things are happening to us, it just it feels like, no, that can't be real. I'm making this up. I have this wishful thinking, or I have this and that, and we start like battling with this. But I would say that try now to surrender into that. Really, from today on till the 8th of, I would say even actually after the 8th, but 8/08, 2024. So 8th of August this year. Try to feel. So you have good 4 weeks or 5 weeks of feeling it. I will be putting out on Patreon 2 videos, workshops, shorter workshops, each one of them like 15 minutes workshops that help you until you will reach to the 808 portal. This year, this portal is very powerful because it is infinity, in all the way infinity manifestation portal. 8th of August, 8th of month of 8, which is August, and 2024 means 224. How much it is together? 8. So it's infinity. This year, a lot of twin flames will unite. Whether you want to believe it or you don't want to believe it, a lot of twin flames will unite in 3D, and a lot of clarity will happen in August. But right now we have a month of Cancer, and its universe is so smart, all the energies are so smart how it's been put together. In order to come to this really a union and harmonious union and union of understanding, the month of Cancer requires you to feel, requires you to process the emotions, feelings, connections, and go through that. And sometimes we don't want to feel it. Sometimes it feels so hard to feel something so painful. That's why we have painkillers. That's why we have substances. That's why we have also so-called internet to scroll there in order not to feel. Because the moment we start feeling, it gets very, very scary. But I require, and I would really, really say, do yourself a favor and feel it. For the next 5 weeks or 6 weeks that we have, those who are on my Patreon will receive twice a week an exercise to do that will help you to go through that process. On 7th of July, we will have an energy activation that I learned at the training, and we will do the live session of that. And this is again, I will do the free session this time, because that will open the door for you to go to the union in this August, or getting a clarity on this August. All of them are 888. So whatever you are thinking of, whatever your energy is in it, and that's why I repeat. This is a lot of repetition today, but the reason I repeat of you feeling the feelings is such an important part of that journey. Because if you start suppressing it, you also start suppressing the flow that comes to the union. Because you need to match on the same frequency. And I know that your mind would somehow say, why do I have to? I don't want to feel for somebody else. I went through hell. It was so difficult for me. I know that. But your twin is part of you. It's not a separate human being. It's you. So do you really want to let it go? Do you really want to just say, oh, I'm not going to do any of that? Because you love you. You love who you are. And it's affecting you. And if something is affecting you, why do you want to stop it? Coming back to the portal of the union of the 888, the Lion's Gate is very powerful. I will have a Lion's Gate meditation. I will have a Lion's Gate opening and all of these things up on the Patreon, and maybe I put some of them on YouTube as well. I see over time how it goes, but I really, really want to guide you through that. This that I remember when I went through a Lion's portal, and I didn't even know at that time that there is a Lion's portal. It was a 2022 Lion's portal, and I had no idea that the Lion's portal even exists. But I remember very, very well that there was the hardest time beginning of the August, because I was still fighting of believing that are these twin flame things real? Are we really twin flames? Did I really met my twin flame? What is this thing? And then around portal time, I lifted up my hands and I said, well, I cannot no longer. I'm here on the floor, almost dying, and I know I'm going to go. But I want to live. I want to experience. I want to be part of it. So show me the way, and I will do the way. Whether I am or not on this journey, I trust it. I believe in it. And from the Lion's Gate, it was exactly, so Lion's Gate was 8th of August. That was the time when I lifted up my hands, and I didn't even know there was a Lion's Gate. But do you see the pull of the energy? I was unaware of there are Lion's Gate and these type of things. Today I share this because now I know that they exist, and now I know that energy is so powerful. When the energy starts pulling you, there is no way for you to stop. And same is with your divine masculine. If they are now starting to go through this deep feeling, going through the deep hole, you need to hold the space and feel the emotions, not to push them off. If your desire is to have a 3D union, although I'm going to say that the same is in 5D union, you don't want to go over and over and over and over again. Although I just want to say that the union comes first with a knowing inside. But I'm just talking of energetically what is happening and what you could do. So for me it was then 8th of August, I lifted up my hands and I couldn't no longer, had no idea about Lion's Gate. And 22nd of August, 2022, 220822, alignment, union, energy. Guess who I got the message from? My twin. Hey, how are you doing? Checking in on you, how are you doing? And on that moment, it was so crystal clear for me that I am on this journey. Something happened, and now I'm going towards alignment and union and becoming one. So I also would say for others who are, let's say, in a separation or something, and let's say you're a man. I know that I have less male listeners over here, but often men are very afraid to send a message to their twin or talk to their twin. And I'm not saying you have to do that. But when something very crystal clear comes through you, let's say you receive that somebody would come and talk to you about your twin and say, hey, you know that Maria was just going through this, and this happened to her business. Then be the one who gets out and says, I realize, okay, I'm going to say to her, hey, how are you doing? Do you need any help? I'm here to support you. So it is a powerful time. And this year, I've said that already before, it's a time for union and alignment. And I'm not saying this because I want you to be like, oh, yes, the union is coming, alignment is coming, I'm going to be with my twin flame. No. I don't. That's why I don't like saying predictions. What I say is the energy is there. And now you need to feel this. You need to feel what is happening through processing the emotions, doing the energy work. Really, the energy work is the best work you can do. Connecting, letting go of the ego who would come in and say, oh, I'm not going to do this for my twin. If my twin is not going to say to me this way, I'm not going to go. My twin has hurted me so much. This is a lot from the ego because you're jumping from between two of these things, start feeling it and start processing it, because there might be something for you that you are processing, that you need to open up, that you haven't done yet, and that's okay too. I'm just gonna say that the Lion's Gate, so what is happening is this energy of, so I'm just gonna bring in a little bit of the understanding what is the Lion's Gate. And so the Lion's Gate portal is the moment where the sun is in Leo, as in alignment with the star Sirius. I know many of us are from the Sirius B, planet from the Sirius B, or has got a lot of information from the planet Sirius B. So it's in alignment with the star of Sirius, Orion's belt, and Earth. And this happens when Sirius rises or becomes very visible because of the sun is yearly passing of the star. And Sirius is the brightest star in the sky. And astrologically, it's believed and considered to be a spiritual sun. So you can see again, a lot of masculine, divine masculine energy is awakening. A lot of this is coming, and it's been always a huge manifestation time. Long back ago, let's say in Egypt, they believe that it is from the goddess. So it shows the light, it shows the manifestation, it shows that harvest and fertility, and now it's time. So it's the same for the connection of twin flames. And so when they are, it's like the numerology of 888 is the most powerful, and the most powerful of all the combinations that you can have. So this year, right before we're entering into a Lion's Gate, I would really highly recommend join the workshops, join the workshops that I have put it out, in order for you to discover of your union or things that's gonna happen. So I hope that was helping you out, and you have more clarity of what is happening, and you might have been feeling very, very emotional. I'm going to end the podcast over here today. So that was the short episode for understanding the energies for the next 5-6 weeks. And like I said, on my Patreon, you will have 2 videos, which are workshops leading up to that day. On 7th of July, 7/7, we will be going to do a deep energy activation. That is a very new thing, and I would open this up first time for free, in a sense that you can join. If you are on my Patreon, even a free member, you will see the invitation, or if you are on my email list, twinflameawakeningjourney.com, feel free to join. So that we're gonna do 2 workshop times. It's both for Australian time and also US time. You will see them on a Patreon. So tomorrow, on 1st of July, my beautiful Cancers, I will be announcing the retreat that is happening on 11/11 of this year, November. You will have a time, so it will be packed with very different things than we did first time, and I would highly recommend you to sign it up as soon as possible, as soon as you receive the email, or as soon as you see this on the website, twinflameawakeningjourney.com. Come and join us this year. It will be 5 days long, 5 days. And what makes this retreat special, apart from the other retreats, is that it is designed for twin flames. Will not have so-called no twin flames or others there. It's exactly a sacred place where we could share our experience, where we are not sounding crazy, and we are in a space of love. I really would like to encourage men to join this time. You will read it from the description what we will have, but I would highly recommend to men to join, at least 2-3 men. Last time we had one beautiful soul, a man with us, and it gave so much contrast and it gave so much support and protection. It's beautiful to have men over there. And also I've noticed that healing men is one of the hardest things to do. And I am devoting some part of me to heal men and open themselves and allowing them to find their full potential and unlock their hearts. I know when men are listening, they are holding themselves back because they don't want to show vulnerable. But you don't have to show vulnerable. You just need to open up of who you really are and not to hold yourself back. So I just want to say that this retreat is not only for women. I really encourage men to join. If you're listening to this and feeling like I would like to discover of who I am really, I would like to be energetically charged to open my full potential, then this might be something for you. And being in a space of twin flames. That's the only difference in that sense of what my retreats are about, because I focus on twin flames. And then yes, those of you who would like to share their story with me, their journey, in July I will share a lot of stories. Might have more episodes coming up. So twinflameawakeningjourney@gmail.com or info@twinflameawakeningjourney.com. All of these links are in the bio, so you can use them from there. If you would like to have a call and energy activation with that, as you know, my first call is always to open your energy. You can look it up more on the Instagram, where you can see what people have said. I have tried not to share all the time what people say, what type of experience they had, because I don't want to put any expectations, and I don't want to say that this is what's going to happen, because everyone's journey is unique. Everyone will experience it differently, and everyone's reality is different. It's just to give you a contrast that my consultation calls, in a sense, are not just only talking. We will open the energies. A couple of new services in that sense are coming up that I see are very crucial and very helpful. But I also know that sometimes we don't have money and sometimes we are struggling. That's why I have the Patreon for only $5.99 a month, plus VAT, I think, where you can join all of these workshops and do the work with yourself if you cannot afford a call. So these are just a few things I wanted to clarify. I would say take it very seriously from today on, your journey to the union, and see the shift and love happening. I had an idea of writing how did my twin flame return back to my life and wanted to make a podcast episode about it. I was thinking maybe at the end of the summer, as then it will be marking exactly of that time when he returned and he told me everything what happened. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Your love and your light and your kindness is beyond beautiful, and I'm so grateful and thankful. You just don't know how much I am. Like I said, every night when I go to bed, I go through with energetically each one of you who follows or who has supported, who has even put a little like. I just close my eyes and I'm like, I just want to say a huge thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. You're my love and you're my light.
Breaking up, making a mess of an all good life. And now that you're gone, I'm thinking about old times. I've waited so long for this to be over, and now that I'm free, I'm free.